Welcome back. So, on a day like this, we need him. We've never needed him more. We invited our BNC colleague, Marc Lamont to discuss the battle over critical race theory. And we're going to talk a lot about that because we've certainly been hearing about it. But first, good morning, Marc. We have to talk about Bill Cosby. You're in Philly. Bill Cosby's waking up in his own bed in his Philadelphia area mansion. After walking out of prison yesterday, conviction overturned, the 2018 sexual assault conviction by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. I want your reaction to Cosby's freedom and what it means.
You know, this is, first of all, it's a shocker. I think all of us in the news business were not waiting on this. There were a lot of things that we were expecting to happen in the news today. And when I got the text and the tweets and stuff that Cosby was coming home, I thought it was a hoax. I thought somebody had some bad information. I wasn't prepared to see that happen. I was stunned. Seeing him come home for me means two things. The first thing is that a whole lot of trauma has been inflicted on survivors, not just people who've made allegations against Bill Cosby, but people around the country who have been survivors of sexual violence of any sort, because it reinforces the message that women aren't safe. And as Mike pointed out earlier, that men who are victims of sexual violence are not safe, that perpetrators can do anything they want and that there's no redress, there's no accountability. This is someone who has had decades of allegations. The allegations really only stopped when he was incarcerated. And so when you see something like that, it's heartbreaking. But then there's another piece of this. Bill Cosby was told one thing by a prosecutor. He made a statement that was then used against him in court. And we cannot allow for a system that betrays its own words. We cannot allow this to happen to Bill Cosby, not because we care about Bill Cosby. I personally don't care at all about Bill Cosby. But I do care about the many people whose statements are used against them, and they end up incarcerated, and they're actually innocent. So we have to respect due process even in the midst of this. So we have to so this morning, I think why this is so difficult is that we're struggling with two things simultaneously. We're struggling with someone who I believe is a sexual predator who was allowed out, not on a technicality, but on a system that by design doesn't honor its own rules and laws. So we got two things we got to deal with at the same time.
Yeah, when it comes to the criminal justice system, fair is fair, and it hasn't been fair to black folks ever. So Bill Cosby deserves his rights just like everybody else. But you're right, it doesn't mean that he's innocent. It just means that he's a free man right now. But with that being said, it appears that there's no recourse, that he's going to remain free. What do you think should happen next, though?
The thing that should have happened before, you know, I come out of an abolitionist tradition. I never believed that police and prisons are the way to get justice. And I think this is a perfect example. Who got justice in this? An 83-year-old allegedly blind man is in a cage. He's never admitted any accountability. He could have come home on parole but refused to acknowledge any wrongdoing, despite the fact that in his own deposition, he acknowledged that he was using drugs and then having, or giving women drugs and then having sex with them. Now, to be clear, he says he didn't sneak the drugs, but that they did the drug consensually. But you still can't have sex with someone who is high on drugs or who is passed out or who is otherwise inebriated. That is textbook sexual assault. So he's not now allowing any accountability. The victims, most of the victims didn't get any kind of acknowledgement. There's nothing restorative that happened. What I'd like to see now that the threat of prison is no longer on the table, is that the victims of Bill Cosby get some sense of accountability, that there's an attempt here to make them whole again. Do I believe it will happen? No, because Bill Cosby is arrogant. Bill Cosby is dismissive of victims. Bill Cosby lives in his own make-believe world where he's the martyr and everyone else is the problem. And so I don't expect this, but if you ask me what I want, and I think that's the right question, I want justice for those women.
Yeah,
he says he's still innocent. Yeah.
All that. And so, Marc, the reason I said I need you this morning is because I want to focus on that arrogance and indeed abuse. As a black woman, I am tired of the abuse and the undervaluing in America. I am tired of being boxed up and this demand of me that I must support in all ways, and I have no right to my body. I want you to speak to what this means for black women when Felicia Rashad puts out that tweet that is so confused, conflicted, and frankly sad in my view. I want you to speak to all of it.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to see Felicia Rashad tweet that, both as somebody who I respect and admire greatly, someone whose career I respect and admire greatly, but also as the dean of a college of black women and girls, and boys and men as well, at Howard University. I mean, how could a student feel safe knowing that the dean thinks something like that? Felicia Rashad knows Bill Cosby and feels an allegiance to Bill Cosby, and I understand that she may have her own personal connection to him. I get that. But there's a bigger issue at stake here, and that is, are we willing to believe the stories of women and girls, specifically black women and girls? And oftentimes, the biggest carriers of white supremacy are black folk. The biggest carriers of patriarchy can be women. And so while Felicia Rashad is certainly not responsible for violence against black women, unfortunately, she has made herself available to the voices and the powers of patriarchy and white supremacy and all these other things to ventriloquate through her body and through her mouth and through her Twitter handle.
Amen.
And so it's very, very disappointing to see. I'm sad to see it, but there's another piece. There's one more thing I want to say, and that is that we have to address rape culture more broadly, because there is a culture that normalizes this type of behavior. Right now, you got a bunch of black men on Twitter saying, well, we got to respect the courts, we got to respect the rule of law. But when Cosby was found guilty, nobody was saying respect the courts and respect rule of law. They said he's not guilty. When black men get shot by police, nobody says, well, George Zimmerman or Darren Wilson was found not guilty, so therefore we can't talk about them anymore. Therefore, we can't say that the jury got it wrong or that the system is unfair. No, we can do both. We can critique the system, but also say this person did something wrong. But the truth is, we live in a world that doesn't love black women and girls. And because it does not, and because we do not as a society, we have no space to have that conversation. And that's the heartbreaking part.
Yeah, we're going to look back on this in history. And we're going to look back on this in history and see how this affects sexual assault survivors years from now. What kind of issues they're going to have when it comes to this. That brings me to critical race theory. All right, 8 states, we know they've already banned, limited the teaching of it or similar when it comes to the schooling system. I think 25 states are trying to do the same thing when it comes to the schooling system. Mark, break it down, because everybody talks about critical race theory. We hear it. Republicans are now using it to kind of scare, I guess, white folks in a way. Exactly. Break it down for us in layman's terms. Give me an example of what critical race theory is so that people can be educated about this topic.
Yeah, that's a great question. And unfortunately, it's a question that the people criticizing it have never asked, nor have they tried to answer for themselves by actually reading a book or an article about critical race theory. Critical race theory is a body of writing and thinking that started about 40 years ago in American law schools. It started with critical legal studies, which was simply attempting to figure out sort of how the law is designed in such a way that it yields different outcomes for the vulnerable. But very unfortunately, critical legal studies didn't think enough about the question of race. It sort of universalized and colorblinded everything. And so critical race theory said, how can we examine society and specifically the law in ways that show a bias, that show a structural problem, that show that race continues to shape our lives, it continues to shape our policies, it continues to shape our laws. I'll give you a quick example, an easy example. During the Jim Crow South, we had a grandfather clause at the voting booth. And the grandfather clause simply said that everybody in America can vote as long as your grandfather voted. That is a neutral policy, a race-neutral policy on its face. That is what we call a facially neutral policy. That's not, nobody said black, nobody said white, nobody said anything else. Anybody can vote as long as their grandfather voted. But in reality, because black people in the 1800s were just a generation out of slavery at best, and really just a few years out of slavery at the end, it meant that no black person's grandfather voted because they were all slaves. So The law was facially neutral, but it had a differential or disparate impact on black people. That is so critical race theory was if it had been around, would have said, how is the law operating in ways that yield a different outcome for a black person? Now, here's the trippy part. This conversation has been happening in law schools. There's some people in PhD programs in the country that do it. I teach it a little bit, you know, in my experience as a university professor. But this ain't happening in college. In you know, undergrad. This isn't happening in high schools. It's darn sure is not happening in K-8. But what they've managed to do is create a boogeyman, to create a moral panic around this word, so that any talk about race, any talk about justice, is called critical race theory, and then they make it so that you don't want it.
How dangerous is it, this boogeyman that they're painting here, and passing laws and telling school teachers and school districts that they better not even utter it? I don't know what they're going to do about Juneteenth, and maybe you can speak to that. How dangerous is this? Because we just interviewed a black farmer who's not getting his money because white farmers, ironically, Mark, are saying, you know what, this isn't fair. Why are they getting money based on the color of their skin? It's about Jim Crow. So how dangerous is this, and what can we do to stop it?
It is incredibly dangerous. And the danger, they want you to think the danger is that people are teaching critical race theory in school. The danger is they're attempting to police the curriculum, that they're attempting to legislate our history books in a way that we can't tell the story. So they give you Juneteenth on the one hand, and then they make it illegal to tell you what Juneteenth is on the other. That is a perfectly Republican move. But here's the thing. This isn't about Juneteenth. This isn't about critical race theory. This isn't about 1619 Project. This is about 2022 and 2024. Last time it was liberation theology. Remember they said the world is getting destroyed by liberation theology. They found, you know, the old stuff from seminaries from the 1960s and 70s, and they said, look at Jeremiah Wright, look at Obama. They're trying to tear down our churches, and they created a moral panic around something that didn't exist. And now they're doing the same thing here because they want white people to feel like they're losing the country. They want white people to feel that their whiteness is at stake. And they want people to organize and galvanize and mobilize in such a way that they get to the polls and vote out this Democratic-controlled Congress.
And Mark, they keep saying this thing, oh, it's going to divide the country. White people, it's going to have black people hating white people. Don't they also want to keep black people ignorant? And not just black people, but white people ignorant, because when you don't know your history, sometimes you don't want to do the things, or you can't do the things to correct the present and make it better for the future.
Well, that's exactly right. They don't want us to have a sense of history. They don't want us to have an analysis. And history, as Malcolm said, you know, history is best suited to reward our research. If we study and we understand the relationship between what I just talked about, voting patterns back then and what's happening now, voter suppression, we'll have a different analysis. If I understand that this is a settler colony state that is built on the erasure of memory, the elimination of indigenous people, etc., then I'm going to have a different conversation about what our Native American brothers and sisters are entitled to right now in 2021. So they want to create a huge gap between our past and the current moment so that they can fill the gaps in with their own narratives, their own myths. And those myths are what allow whiteness to prevail. It allows white supremacy to appear normal.
Wow. You know what? You are just one of the most important voices. I'll continue to say it, you know. And I will ask you this before we let you go. Mark Milley, how important was it for him during that congressional hearing to, with passion, say what he said about critical race theory and about what he had left to learn about it?
When he stood up, first of all, it's crazy that it was considered a radical statement to say, look, I don't know enough about it. We all need to get smarter on it. I want to read about this, but also, look, we can read stuff we don't agree with. We can read stuff to understand it better. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't have to agree with everything that I read, but I got to read it. It's common sense, but it's important that he said it because the fact that a general said it means that it'll have more value than some black late night talk show host like me or brilliant morning show talk show host like y'all say it.
All them followers you got.
But it also means a white general said it as well. So and then on that point, before we let you go, we got a quick, you know how it is. You know we're up against time right now. 1619 Project has something to do with that. We know Hannah Nicole Jones, Nicole Hannah Jones, I should say, had a lot to do with that. She is granted tenure after first being denied tenure. Is that, well, obviously it's a step in the right direction, but what does that mean?
It means that we have more evidence that when we fight, we win. Nicole Hannah Jones would not have tenure if those students hadn't organized, if we hadn't tweeted, if y'all hadn't reported on it. This is a fight that was winnable, and there's never been a fight that black people have fought on a sustained level and didn't win, but there's also never been a victory that black people have gotten that we didn't have to fight for. So I love Nicole Hannah Jones. I'm happy for her. I'm proud of her. But this is about a bigger struggle for our own voice, our own freedom, and justice for all.
That's why we love you, man. We appreciate you. Of course, Marc Lamont Hill. That's my baby cousin right there. I like to say that. Black News tonight.
8 o'clock every night.
8 o'clock East time.
Right there.
Absolutely. We'll be watching, of course. Can't wait. Check him out. That is a brilliant man right there. Every weeknight, of course.
Don't call me at 8 o'clock.
Primetime lineup that we have. Yo, D,
don't tweet me.
Charles
text
Blow.
Me.
Everybody. Make sure you check out Marc. Marc, thanks for hanging out with us this morning, getting up this morning with us. Appreciate you.
Love you, brother. We love you.
Appreciate y'all.